An amazing day. My name is roarskye. I am a raw vegan. I healed myself of 32 years of chronic illness. I've had over 60 surgeries, 7 major organs removed, including my stomach, duodenum, top of intestine, full hysterectomy. I basically spent my whole life sick. Now I'm well. And I am doing this video today because actinic keratosis is precancerous. You can get them on your body. I had one on my face. They're spots. They're basically precancerous skin cancer type things. And I went to the skin cancer place today to have mine burnt off. And it's pretty much gone. So the actinic precancerous skin cancer is gone on my face. And I wanted to talk today because a lot of people would be like, oh, it's your diet that did it. No, it's not that simple. Hello. So I have had a few things change. I have been a raw vegan for 4 years, and miracles happened when I started eating the raw foods. I noticed, well, I could get out of bed. I've had no more surgeries. My PTSD is gone. My tachycardia is gone. I've had no more surgeries. I've got my mast cell activation under control. Chronic fatigue gone. Aches and pains gone. A myriad of things gone, okay, being a raw vegan. But I did notice as I did more watery foods and fruits, I got like liver spots, and I started to notice, and I've had a full hysterectomy. As time went on, I wasn't aging as gracefully as I hoped. I still looked young and I was eating raw food, but I had stopped my estrogen therapy, which most people should stay on if they've had a hysterectomy. It actually ends up very protective, neuroprotective, protective in the respiratory cardio, like your cardio system, protective in your joints and muscles. And the biggest thing I find is that I feel my mood and I just feel better. That's the main reason I went back to having the estrogen replacement. But when I did some research, it actually lowers your risk of cancer if you have had your entire uterus removed. So that's me. So I put this back in, the estrogen back in about 2 months after I saw the skin cancer the skin cancer doctor almost a year ago. So I've had almost a year ago. So I think I saw him October last year, and I put in my hormone replacement at the end of the year. That's estrogen therapy. I don't want to say hormone replacement therapy. There is no progesterone. It is just estrogen. Now, estrogen is that fountain of youth for women. It gives skin elasticity, helps skin build collagen. It helps retain more fluid in the skin. As soon as I started using it, I noticed my skin seemed shinier. It seemed brighter. I felt that it gave my skin something, but it wasn't essentially the reason I went on estrogen replacement. So I'm doing a raw diet, and as I said, my skin and doing the raw diet, and somebody asked me, was it castor oil that helped you? So I was using castor oil and coconut oil on my skin when I got this. You can't see it anymore. It was like it's called a actinic keratosis that I had. So anyway, I went back. He said, you're going to give it 6 months. He said, if it's still there, we have to get rid of it. He said, in some cases it goes. Now, until I put in the estrogen therapy, this flake would fall off, come back, fall off, come back. And it was so prominent. It was just irritated me. And I went and saw him today, and I was prepared to have it burnt off because he said, some people risk it and wait till it turns cancerous, but it's probably better, give it a few months and then get it taken off after summer. Don't have it burnt off in summer because you'll burn your skin more. So I went in to have this done, and his little ice is on the desk. And he looked, he goes, I can't see it. He goes, there's a tiny mark there, but I can't see it. And I said, I started to notice the change as soon as I put in the estrogen therapy. But the estrogen therapy, I think, took benefits from me now not using just coconut oil, but I was using Nivea moisturizer and other natural moisturizers. But I don't think it was one or the other. I think it was a combination of the estrogen is able to use and keep the skin more moist. I actually have talked to ChatGTP, and this is totally possible, what I explained. The doctor said yes, but I mean, he was busy. But I wanted to I put into ChatGTP, I said, look, I've done new moisturizers I weren't using and the estrogen. Is that possible that this actinic keratosis went because of that? Because it felt like it was getting worse until I put the estrogen in. I am Australian. That's hamburgers, but I just wanted to go over this first. So, first off, I said to ChatGTP, I added estrogen replacement with a strong moisturizer and my actinic keratosis is gone. And ChatGTP said that's actually quite interesting, and this makes biological sense in some cases. Here's why. Estrogen and skin repair. Estrogen boosts collagen production, thickness, and blood flow to the skin. This increases keratocytes turnover in the skins, and this may affect the AK, which is the actinic keratosis. In menopause, low estrogen state, skin becomes thinner and drier and heals more slowly. Adding estrogen can reverse this. Now, remember, I'd had a hysterectomy, so I can't keep working my skin naturally to get estrogen. It stops making it. Like you have the hysterectomy, I had the hysterectomy 14 years ago, it stopped. It said, and the moisturizer would create more of a skin barrier, reduce inflammation, and support a healing environment. It literally felt like both. And I'm sharing this because I feel people should know it. Have a hysterectomy, getting lots of precancerous actinic keratosis. It may just be your hormone production is very low. Look after yourself, of course, but I usually get on here and I'm like, raw foods is everything. Raw food is why I feel amazing, saved my life, and it is. But in this case, I just noticed this skin elasticity, reverse aging type thing with estrogen. And if you go and speak to a gynecologist, even a doctor, estrogen is their fountain of youth. It's the thing that ages us when it declines as a woman, and it's the thing that keeps us young. So, yeah, there we go. Do I practice yoga? No. I do Pilates. I am someone who I don't sit with my emotions very well. I have an ADHD brain. I need to do Pilates, do a lot with while I'm doing my stretches. So these are the burgers we made earlier, guys. Hang on. Look. I made these this morning. Look, these were just with leftover. I put a free hair in there. These were some leftover veggies, walnuts, flax, nutritional yeast. We are going to make that's a chunky one. We're going to make my dinner tonight. Raw vegan, staying healthy. They smell so good. I'm really hungry. And I feel like we've covered that. Hey Ruby, morning Sky, I made your cheese recipe with garlic and I used the creamy cheese sauce over the courgette zucchini noodles. It was delicious. Yum, that sounds amazing. Thank you. A femboy? Why would I be a femboy? No, not you specifically. I'm saying basically, I don't want a man to take estrogen, but in a woman, estrogen production drops. If you've had a hysterectomy, it's basically like none and void. And I went on a raw foods diet and it really helped me with my health, but I noticed I was aging very fast, and that wasn't the foods per se, that was already happening, before the food. The food obviously made me feel better and much younger, but after a hysterectomy, you want to make sure you've got the right hormones in your body. That's what I'm saying. Especially, this is more directed at women, especially women that have had a hysterectomy. I just found it amazing. Like, I went to the doctor today to have skin cancer burnt off, and I didn't have it burnt off. He's like, I cannot see it. To me, that's like a freaking miracle. And I know a lot of people will be like, oh, is it the diet? And I was like, no, the diet was causing more spots and stuff. Well, I don't know if it was causing, but I was not in a my skin did not look great at the start of the year. And all I've done consistently is noticed a difference was the estrogen replacement and Nivea moisturizer. I've used other natural ones, but they were costing a lot of money and they ran out quickly. I did a couple of weeks ago add in some castor oil and my skin does feel better, but I believe it's a combination. I believe you could use castor oil and even bioidentical hormone replacement if that's what you needed. That's what you need. But I just think it's a miracle. Yeah, I don't know what a lot of these comments say. But anyway, let's make food. Okay, we got food. This is the fun part. So it's still Friday and I would love to have a burger tonight with these burgers, but I don't go to the farmer's market tomorrow. So I'm thinking of making a salad, like a chopped salad with these patties on top. And we'll just have to see how this ends up because nothing is like sprung to mind, like drastically as to what I'm gonna make. The salad part will be very simple at the bottom. So let's get a bowl. Let's get a bowl. Okay, we got a bowl. I am Australian. Hello, Samantha. Okay. Okay, this smells okay. This is good. A good start. Because this is the end of the week, remember? I didn't even know I had that lettuce there. So we're going to do some greens for the salad. Just chop some greens. Greens are good for us. Lots of minerals. They will keep us healthy. Hair thick, nice and strong. That reminds me. We need to do, I actually just jumped in the freezing cold water here in Australia this afternoon and boy, I feel good. I feel invigorated. I feel invigorated. Okay, so sea moss gel. This has 92 of the 102 minerals the human body needs. We want this. What's it taste like? Nothing. The texture is horrid, but we put up with it. I'm used to it. Is there? Oh, there is a tag on the back of my pants. Thank you. They're new. I got them today. They were only like $20 from Cotton On. We all know I love Cotton On. They're on special rack. Thank you. See, what would I do without you guys? You've literally got my back. Okay. So this is what's going in my salad bowl. Doing some lettuce. Oh, it's lettuce. It's mixed green. I just threw it across the front there. Okay, I've got a little bit of cabbage left over. I've done well with my veggies this week. I've really got, there's half a cauliflower in the fridge. I don't feel like cauliflower in this salad. Let's do some purple cabbage. That beautiful cruciferous, high vibrational food. I got the tag off my butt, Nacho. Thank you. I insta subscribe. I just love your energy and the tag made me giggle. The tag is very me. I am doing amazing. Thanks, Eerie Eats ASMR. Okay. So we've got that. Now, what else have I got in this little basket? I think I over-ordered on Brussels sprouts this week. I feel I've got excessive amounts of Brussels sprouts left. So I should, oh no, I did. I only got 2 boxes this week. I think 2 bags of Brussels sprouts. We're doing high cruciferous. I try and do high omega-3s because I swear so many of my symptoms are low. Oh, I also went to an amazing chiropractor today. Holy moly. I swear to God, he fixed my neck, which felt like it must have been born like that. It's worth finding a good chiropractor, I say. Okay. So remember, we've got these here, guys. I should put these onto a plate. Look a bit fancy. Okay, we'll put them onto a plate. These have mushroom, walnuts, nutritional yeast, purple cabbage, darker onion powder, all the good stuff. These will be on top of our salad tonight. I try and make it all easy. Like just whatever's in the fridge, we've got to work with sometimes, a lot of the time. Okay, so they're going to the side. We've got our salad going on. I will put a little, do I want tomato in the salad? Yeah, we want tomato in the salad, I think. I think we do. What we're going to do is we're going to also make a sauce. We're going to dress the salad, but there's going to be a sauce. I don't know, we're getting stickers everywhere. We're getting tags, it's like tag day. Getting them everywhere here. I'm going to put a little bit of tomato in that and half a tomato in here for when we make a dressing. What's more, a sauce. Please below hit me up with any sauce ideas or nuts that you'd like me to try make. I usually try with my recipes do like almonds or walnuts or pumpkins. Oh, I like pumpkin seeds. But I do have like hazelnuts there. I do have pecans, but I just never use them as much because I know it's easier for you guys to just use this like simpler nuts. But I have those. We did macadamias last week. Hit me up with like a sauce idea I could make. Even if it's a cooked sauce or just a plant-based sauce, and I can see if I can make it raw vegan maybe. Okay, and there was a little bit of onion maybe here. I don't know how good that onion is though. It will do. We will see when we shop her open. All right. Well, there was a bit of, there's a couple onions here. I could dehydrate some onions, you know. All right. There is a little bit of spice here. I try and, because I have a histamine issue that comes up, I do not do spice often, but Friday night I'm all in. It's like Friday night. I think I just made that up. It ended up, the full recipe's connected. I've already written it all up for you guys. It took 8 hours. I think, let me fix that recipe up after this actually, because the time I hadn't finished yet. I did 6 hours and then I flipped them and then I put them back in for 2 hours. But yeah, so you want to flip them at about 5 to 6 hours mark. But I did put the folder already there for you guys to grab the recipe. So raw ketchup. I could do raw ketchup, you know. I could do raw ketchup, but it'd be better to do with sun-dried tomatoes, but I don't need it. I can do raw ketchup. Yeah. Okay. What are we doing? We've got some onion going here. A bit distracted there. Okay. Maybe we do a spicy ketchup. Maybe that's what we do, because I got some spice there. All right. So we got some onions. Right. I think that's okay. I just wanted a basic kind of salad. We could do a couple of pumpkin seeds just for some crunch through it, extra crunch. Just a little bit here. Ooh, just a little bit. So many songs go through my head. Everything I say turns into a song. My brain works like that a lot of the time. Okay. Ooh. There we go. It's just a simple salad, just like that. Now I want to dress this salad. I've got some lemon and lime here and some flax oil. You can use olive oil, but I am choosing to, this isn't like, we're going to put the burgers on top with some tomato ketchup. But for this dressing, I'm just going to use some lemons. Now, you know I don't do this very often because the histamines, but it seems to be going good. So we'll do a lemon. And a lime. Hopefully it's a juicy lime. Can I eat this way, including your hemp milk and yogurt to lose weight? That's a good question. So, what I have found is any person who, it depends. Most people who move over to a raw lifestyle start to lose weight. But eventually, including myself, I've always been pretty skinny and I have no stomach. If your body finds a way to just kind of like, I don't know, instead of doing exercise, have excessive amounts of hemp milk or hemp yogurt or coconut yogurt. But when you start, usually you can't get enough in. See, when you eat dense cooked food, you can get a lot of calories in a small amount. So when people move to this lifestyle, usually when I work with them in truth, even if they want to lose weight, the focus is not calories because it's very, very hard to do a low calorie raw food diet. The idea is to come across and just find out how to eat raw. These are all foods which have no preservatives, full of natural products. So I say eat what you're called to and adjust yourself. But then be mindful. This is like a 6-month thing, right? Is you're trying to get used to raw foods, and that looks different for each person. A lot of people ideally would love to be like, I'm just going to do fruits and greens, and it's not going to work. From most people being on like a standard or even plant-based lifestyle, is you're going to want more avocado or nuts, veggies, fruit. And I say do that, okay? But once you get used to it, be mindful of calories. Because I wasn't for 3.5 years, and I started to just continually put on weight. I've spoken about this. I was at my mum's and I just kept getting on the scale, and I'm like, I put on 10 kilos from within like 1 year or something. So I first put on 12 kilos and I wanted to, but then just eating whatever I wanted raw and just all these juices and like fattier foods at night did not serve me. But I believe I pretty much was a good weight for about 2-3 years, and then I just kept it taking off. So my suggestion is focus on trying to get onto raw because it's a difficult task, and that may include more hemp and coconut yogurt, avocados, because you're getting used to density. But as you get onto it, be mindful of how many calories you're consuming. So not really. If you start chugging down juices, sweet juices, and then start having coconut yogurt. So a cup of walnuts has 600 and something calories. A woman in menopause doesn't need more than 1,600 calories a day. So you start having a handful of walnuts here with a sweet juice, plus you get blood sugar issues where your body is struggling because of the sugars and fats, and there's a collision going on in there. That's easy to happen on the raw lifestyle too. So it's like any lifestyle, pick your macro. If you can't consume both really sweet foods and really fatty foods on any diet. So there's like the Brooke Goldner way, or there's the more Dr. Morse way, right? So you've got all these fruits and no fat, or the 80-10-10 way, okay? And I do more higher fats and greens. And if I put sugars in, I seem to just put on weight all around here. Do you know how long it's taken to get my stomach this flat? It's taken doing greens and seeds and being mindful of not over consuming. I have no stomach, so I think things get stuck. But I could not get a flat stomach on fruit except when I did only grapes for 3 weeks. I wouldn't recommend that to anybody. I do it for a few days, but don't push yourself. My biggest thing is 3 weeks to many people doesn't seem that long, but as soon as you come off that, my body recalibrating always struggles. I'd rather just find something like this. This is my dinner today. Mostly I woke up, had a cacao, that chocolate cacao. I had a lot of juice. I basically just juiced all day and I'll eat tonight. Some days I eat all day, as in like I will usually get up, have a matcha, usually 2 meals. So I'll usually have a matcha and then I'll do like veggies with flaxseed and chia and salt and some blueberries and raspberries and then some more. Once you reach menopause, you have to be deliberate about what you're eating, 100% Ruby. Otherwise, you gain weight very easily. The only way I can stay stable on raw is intermittent fasting. This is kind of what I've noticed too, is I can go, my weight really doesn't change even when I just have like cucumber and celery juice during the day and eat this at night. What does change is when I start copiously eating a lot of like fruits, or you can't eat a lot of chia, flax, and veg. Your body just can't get a lot in. I find with fruit, I keep eating it, and then around here, this is for me, but Ruby's right, is you have to be very purposeful when you're in menopause about eating. It's hard to explain, but once you're there, you'll understand. I'm not a man and really a menopausal woman. I love you guys for being funny. Maybe that's like the other day I said, you know, now that my place is much cleaner, when I was in the midst of my like really bad ADHD, there was just mess everywhere, and someone comes on and goes, oh crap, I must be batshit crazy then because I have mess everywhere. You guys keep me entertained. But yeah, I think menopause is very different. Like for me, the sugars don't work. A bit like how Cara Brotman almost freaks out when she talks about sugar, yet she used to have it until she went into menopause. She used to have fruit all the time, then she's like, no. And it's a bit like that. It's like even the thought of it, it just does not work. Anyway, this is working. So let's do this. I wanted to just put some, you can do orange juice, whatever. Just put some of this on top. And we're going to do some flax oil. Even I know Dr. Brooke Golden, it says that people can eat like as much avocados and flax on her diet as they like. And I've noticed for me, I cannot just eat avocado. I become avocado. I start to become an avocado. So maybe like it's different for everybody. I don't know. So yeah. Okay, let's do this. I find this good. Yeah. Okay, this is just flax oil. You can use olive oil. And we will just mix this. So this is just the base, very basic. Now, I'm not doing anything sweet in this. I will do a bit of salt. I find I also need salt, but I can't do too much because I swell. I think maybe you just hit menopause and it's like, I like this, but I can't do too much because you get the negative effect of it. I do need salt, but not like a heap. There is a little bit in these. So we'll just mix that up. All right, we'll let that soak for a bit. Now we're going to do, we decided we're doing a tomato ketchup. So look, in my mind, the tomato ketchup is going to have tomato, which I have. We'll get rid of the rest of the tomato. It's definitely going to have onion powder. It's going to have like Worcestershire sauce, but I don't use that. So we're going to do apple cider vinegar. I would say it's going to have it's going to have dates for sure. Onion powder. Got a lot going on in my head right now. I just looked at that wall and I'm like, ah! Oh, it's going to have this. It's going to have, I've got a feeling it may have not smoked paprika. It may have some paprika. So we'll bring that down, but it will 100% have onion powder. Ah, where are you, baby? Oh, I love sumac. We'll get sumac down. Maybe I'll put some of that in there. Starting to see all these things. I'm like, oh, I like that too. I actually would have loved to make a mustard sauce as well, but I'm a bit scared because I made mustard sauce once. I made this mustard dish once, and it's the only time I've thrown something out as a raw food creator, chef. I literally just put too much in, and I couldn't fix it. There was no coming back. So we'll get some. Oh, I have to order some dates. Oh, there's blueberries there. Look at the things I find in my fridge. Look at the size of these blueberries. These are from last week. Look at that. They're so huge. Like, they're massive. That's good. I didn't order as many blueberries today when I pick it up tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to say there's going to be about 3 dates. Hello. So during menopause, don't you need a bit more fat in your diet as well? Yes. So when the cells in your body will actually store the hormones in the fat cells in the body. So yes, that is true. But also you need fat because I swear to God, every time I go low fat, I look 100. yeah, like I can't do low fat. And I don't mean low fat, I mean, I think at least, well, women have 25% more fat than men. And I think I could sit at 25 to 40% fat. I would love to just eat fat, but my body can't process it. The reason being is your skin as you age looks incredible. Like we buy all these moisturizers and oils to put on our skin, but when it goes through, but it's, look, this isn't chemicals. So when you get on a raw food diet, you can try these things out and just find out what other people are doing your age. Look, I'm really inspired by Cara Brotman, by Chef Babette, by Karen Calabrese, and they are all through menopause and none of them eat a lot of fruit. They did when they were younger, but then it seems like as they age, they need to watch. And who else was saying it? I think Jillian told me when she interviewed, what is her name? I can't think of it. Mimi Kirk. She was looking at what Jillian ate and she said, I couldn't eat like that. I would just be the size of a house. And I think it's because as you age, you just can't eat the same. Yeah. So we put, it's about 3.5 tomatoes, 3 dates in here. And I'm going to say, where is the onion powder is next. Trying to think, would there be because there's not really any fat in it. So there is going to be, we're doing it without I would love some sun-dried tomato in there, but that's all right. We might do like 2 tablespoons of nama shoyu, so that's unpasteurized soy sauce. I'm going to do a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar for the vinegar aspect. And then I'm going to do a teaspoon of the onion powder, and then we can see how we go from there, right? Feel free to hit me up with some ingredients there. You could possibly put some tahini in here, but I want to see what this is like. That is what happens when we need a bit more water. Well, that's really good, actually. I don't know if it tastes like tomato, but it tastes really good. It tastes like, well, I guess ketchup. It probably needs a bit more, let's see, might need a bit more vinegar. Okay. It tastes really good, but it needs, I'm trying to think what it needs. It needs something. Maybe it needs think it needs a bit more apple cider vinegar. I think ketchup is a bit more acidic than, let's see. So that's 3 tablespoons. I think it needs that. What do? We did 2 of the nama shoyu. I think it needs another one. Let's see how that goes. Maybe it needs more onion powder. I don't know. It tastes good, but I'm trying to get that tomato sauce flavor. Let's try. That tastes more like ketchup. That tastes like ketchup, guys. That's it. It is. It's like the vinegar part was missing, and this added like a salty Worcestershire side part to it, which is in it. So that, we got it. We did it. Yeah, I can't lose shit since I turned 40. Yeah, my son, there is no sun-dried tomatoes. Yeah, I love apple cider vinegar so much, except there's so many histamines in it. They always set me off. Okay, that's really good. Let's put it in a sauce bottle, hey? We nailed that. Thanks, Ruby. I'm sure that was Ruby. You said ketchup. So truly the secret to that was, well, you want the sweet, the tomato, the sweet. You want like that Worcestershire, which is the nama shoyu, and the acid. And the onion powder lifts it too, but those are the components that are needed in that. Interesting. It would have been definitely a bit more depth of the tomato with the sun-dried tomato, but this is fine. This is fine. I think the sun-dried tomato would have had it a bit redder too, but it's good. It does the job. There's some in here. The lid's got some too. That's good. Very good. Very, very good. Ooh. Just right. We fill the sauce bottle. Oh, maybe fill the sauce bottle too much. Gosh. What can I do with that? Just put it in the salad. It's only a little bit. Otherwise, if I put it in that bowl, it'll wash it down the sink. Oh, that's good. Okay, oh, we didn't do any spice. What I can do is just top it with a little bit of chili. So I've got these chilies here. I do like a bit of chili. So we'll top it. There's also maybe some, we'll do a couple sesame seeds. All right, so we got this. Can move this out the way now. So we've got our bowl, and we might put some of these just on top like that, maybe 3. Wipe down the sides there. Fling stuff everywhere. So we've got this going on so far. What else do we want? What, tomato sauce? Remember, the dressing is already on the salad. These always get stuck. I don't like that. But I guess all sauce bottles get stuck, right? Okay. What I might do is take my phone off and take a photo of it so I can show you guys properly, but maybe you can see it. If we get the sauce out. Okay. Do a bit of chili and some sesame seeds. Maybe a little bit of sumac just because I love sumac. There we go. That was good. So the patties are in the video before. So the patties I made earlier, I do a live on Friday where I clean out my kitchen and I clean out whatever's left in the fridge, and I make like some patties, add some spices, put them in the dehydrator. The recipe, if you want it, is already in the description. I've written that up for you. But let me just pull this off for a second. Stay there. I'm just going to take a photo of this. Oh, I took a photo of it. But I think you guys can see it anyway. So we're just going to try it now. You're very welcome. So this is, yes, this is my Friday night. So this is usually where, if all went well this morning, I end up eating what I made this morning. And it did. It usually does. I haven't messed it up so far. We can get some pepper down. We can try it. Usually I go ahead and make like a reel of this in my reels or the shorts area later on during the week. But sometimes I find with these longer recipes, nobody wants the reel. I like a lot of recipes that have 3 ingredients and 2 ingredients, and people always want those ones. And whenever I go to all the effort to, let me bring you forward, all the effort to make a reel, a short for you guys, and I write up the recipe and you can send off for it, is nobody really wants it. So, I mean, it's here. So I'll see. I'll see. Can you see my food? I think you can see. It's just really high. Maybe I need to get higher. Sit nice and tall. Let's try this. So let's get the tomato sauce, the salad that's got the dressing. I forgot I hadn't tried the patties yet. They're really good. I'm going to like mix it all up through. They're really good. So they look like meat. It's all raw vegan. Can you see there? I've got sauce on it. They look literally like inside of a patty, a meat patty. Here. They just look like meat. So they got like mushrooms and walnuts and what else? Nutritional yeast, darker onion powder, And I'm going to get new sauce bottles is what I'm going to do, because this happens every time, especially when I'm creating ebooks and I want to be decorative. Take the lid. Oh, there we go. There must be something stuck. That's it. We got the sauce out now. But yeah, these look really meaty. So, like, yeah. They're really good. So, this is good, guys. Highly recommend making. I had a bit of chili then. Okay, they are moist inside. Good question. When I first started creating recipes, I used to wait till they were like cookies. Don't do that. About 8 hours. They should be, unless they're really wet. You want them moist because they will still dry out. Yeah. The outside is like firm and the inside is set, but it's moist. Thank you. Oh, I was sick most of my life. I've had over 60 surgeries, 7 major organs removed. I don't have a stomach. I was in bed with a congenital disease, chronic viruses, mast cell activation, just always sick. Fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, FND, then psychiatric issues from all the stress and trauma. And then I ended up drinking. I was on a lot of pain medication for years before they did some of the surgeries. Ate a raw food diet, well as, so well. No problems except I had a bout of shingles and a broken foot. That's all I've had in 4 years. What is annoying about this salad is that I put too much lemon on it. That's what I've done when I've dressed this salad. So I need to put it in a different bowl. Yeah. So that's why I eat this way. This video did start out, I just have to put because I've also had so I've had my stomach removed, I've had a full hysterectomy. We're going to move this because there's too much liquid down the bottom. And I don't like that. It's going to make my meat soggy. Yeah, that's better. Okay, I had avocado here to use as well, but so I might actually try and put a little bit more on there. Okay. Yeah, look at, nice and meaty. The food goes, hang on. 2 decades. Are you back now? Are you doing much better now? So the food goes straight into the small intestine. So they took out the duodenum and the top of the intestine, so it goes further down. I usually take these when I eat Pure Life, enzymes and probiotics to help me digest, but I don't like the cap, so I pop them open. I never really absorbed anything until I got on a raw food diet, and then apparently I'm absorbing so much that I put on weight, which is interesting because I was always underweight. But then I guess you can get healthy, and a sign of, like, I don't know what it's a sign of. Maybe we'll put a bit of avocado in here, hey? Ooh. One thing at a time. I was talking to a chiropractor today, and I'm like, you know, I lost my stomach and this and that. I was like, well, of course, if you lost your stomach, you're going to have psychiatric issues. He goes, where do you think all the neurotransmitters for your brain come from or don't come from if you don't have a stomach? And then I think if you've been through menopause, you know how difficult mood and thinking and cognitive processes are. Here's my shot. This is my shot. Either this or ginger. Okay.
drugs, no alcohol, no cigarettes. So Kill the Hive Mind has said, wow, does it feel different? I'm a lot better now. I don't have big pharma anymore. No hard drugs, no alcohol, no cigarettes, very small amounts of weed occasionally, and that's it. Still getting on my feet. Well, congratulations to you. I always say this. Losing my stomach was a walk in the park versus losing my mind. Losing myself and regaining myself, which I feel like I've regained a lot of who I am in this past year, is like a gift like no gift. When I went through FND and dissociation, I was very aware I was missing, but I didn't know where I was. And I mourned so much of even my sick self. I couldn't cry. No tears came out of my eyes. I don't really cry that often, but losing myself, I will do anything to keep myself, even my little quirks, even the things that people find like I wish I didn't do that, I'm so bad. No, love it all. Love it all. You don't want to lose yourself. Like when you lose an organ, you wake up and yes, it's traumatizing, but you can scream enough that pain is eased. When you lose yourself, nothing, you just feel pain and emptiness, and it's one of the most horrible things. It's worth looking after your mental health. Well, that chili is nice in this. I was going to put a bit of avocado in here, wasn't I? I think it's all right without the avocado, actually. There's like flax oil, and we've got walnuts and pumpkin seeds. This is really nice, actually. Like a burger bowl. Thank you. I feel really great. Like the photos of me when I was not well. Oh, where are we here? This is when I was in and out of ICU. I'd lost my stomach. I'd come off most of the meds. I've spoken about this. Then they threw me on a floor in a psych unit. Took the rest of the fentanyl off me, rest of the Valium off me, and SSRI off me, dexamphetamine off me, endone off me, and then OxyContin off me. Most of it had come off in these, and then they put me on these, took my hormone replacement off me. It was like I was being burnt alive while my bones were breaking, and I was didn't sleep, was just stared, laid on the floor, stared at a wall, went to the toilet, I went on for weeks, and they injected me with Risperdal and I think Epilum, which made this, I think Risperdal made me hallucinate on top of hallucinate. I was already hallucinating. Worst experience of my life. Plus I've been in a room for 15 years. So this is my first experience with the world, was a public acute psychiatric unit when I stopped talking and stopped, couldn't answer who I was. Here, this is about, I'd come off, so I'd been, by this stage I'd had most of the 60 surgeries, and it had all stopped, most of it. I still had some bowel surgery from the medications, plus where I'd had surgeries in my pelvis, but then I just basically stopped talking, couldn't answer most days who I was, wouldn't respond to things. They put me in a psych unit. It was freaking horrible. But it motivates me now to be, I didn't absorb, so the nutritionist as well had me on 3 protein shakes a day, all chemicals. Plus I was eating meals that mum made, which were relatively healthy, but my body was so damaged. When I did a paleo diet, I did much better, but then I ended up with FND, a functional neurological disorder where I couldn't walk or talk. It was crazy. I just kept getting sick. Like really sick. Thank you, No Filter. It was. I've been through it. But it's why also is, like, I eat this way now, but every step I took every day to get me to this place, because I stopped drinking, vaping, smoking, using pharmaceuticals when I discovered that eating the raw food got me up. I was eating cooked vegan food and I couldn't function still, and I ate the food raw and I could start doing things. But it's tough. You have to face these decisions every day. The urge to go out and smoke is so strong. What am I going to do? Make yourself a tea, Sky. Put music in your ears, Sky. Make sure you sit next to the salt lamp and just breathe. It will get better. You have to believe it will get better. And then it's like there was no food outlet at that time because I knew the raw food was the only thing I could have. So sometimes I would just go to bed with a carrot. I'd literally just lay in the bed and know that it would get better because it felt better than it had before. Oh no. I've got heart failure. I'm so sorry. Have you tried like plant-based or raw foods? A lot of people find a lot of healing. Most people find a huge amounts of healing with it. So where did all the illness stem from? So I got chicken pox as a kid. And after that, I could barely get back to school. My glands are really sore. This went on for years. I just fall asleep in class. They took my tonsils out, my adenoids out. And then I started to do better. But then at 16 is where this chronic pelvic pain and back pain started. And I had a rare congenital disease where I had a second piece of uterus attached to nerves and ligaments in my spine. They named it endostomatosis. They hadn't seen it before. But apparently, usually when organs get left in the body, or made when someone's born, being made as a baby, the body gets rid of them. In my case, it's very rare. They hold on to an extra piece of organ or stroma and it's sitting in like a ligament. And so when I went through puberty, this massive double amount of hormones started going through my body, but it caused pain and they were searching for it. They did remove glands, they removed it. I lost my stomach because of it. It just went on. Do you have any childhood trauma? Because that's where my issues stemmed from. So I've kind of spoken about this. So that's all traumatizing, like having your stomach removed, being on a psychiatric floor, being in so much pain. I was on ketamine in cardiac units, screaming since I was 16 in pain. So much so that they gave me biofeedback and they used that on women in labor and they couldn't get a start reading on me. So huge amounts of trauma. What I find is if I eat a raw food diet, I'm present. Okay, like if for some reason the hydration, the nutrients, I'm present. But if I start having too much dehydrated food and too much of this type of stuff, I don't know whether it's dehydrate or whether it's like memories of cooked food, I start to get the FND and PTSD immediately. Like I would not function if it wasn't for raw food, simply even before the disease, because of the trauma that I've been through. It's like a miracle. This is like from where I was to who I am now. So, Australian. Yes, I'm Australian. Congratulations to you, Sky. You've made an amazing progress and recovery. I wouldn't have known if you hadn't shared. Thanks, Luxury Satin. I think it's my motivation for what I do. We find I was in a mental hospital 4 away. I ain't no friends, you learned a hard lesson. I'm not sure what that means. Ain't no friends, I've learned a hard lesson. But life is a whole lot of lessons, but raw food helps me so much. Oh, no. I get asked that a lot. No, I had chicken pox and then I didn't get well after that. And then from 16, apparently they say it's because that second piece of disease organ was there. It was slowly just building up, excess hormones. But no, nothing I can think of. I've been asked that often, actually. My life was a dream before I got chicken pox, and then I got well after that. Still had like this underlying chronic fatigue, but they say that hormones start getting released at about 8. 8 was when I got sick, when I didn't recover from the chicken pox properly. Yeah, well, apparently it's congenital. So not genetic, but congenital. So it means it happened in the womb, but it wasn't passed on. So when the uterus was made, it should have, even if a bit floats off of your liver or your kidneys or whatever, it's like a pathogen, so your body attacks and gets rid of it. But in my case, it like this little bit of organ floated off and it just got built around. And it seemed to be like a huge problem until I had a hysterectomy. Nothing, no surgery, they took it out, they left some in, it spread onto my bowel and bladder, caused more pain. And once I had a hysterectomy, they stopped the hormones. So, and now with the patch I have on, I control the level, or they controlled it, and now I control it. So, yeah, but I see it like part of my journey, right? It's like I've learnt so much. My soul is so changed from what I went through. I feel like I'm a better person because of what I went through. So, I'm from Sydney, the Shire. I don't know if anyone knows the Shire. From Melbourne, Northern. I went to Melbourne once. It was beautiful. Oh my God! Every time I get a bit chilly. Oh my gosh. We've got to eat our veggies. Veggies make us feel good. They make me feel good. I am vegan. I went vegan before I went raw vegan. I went vegan after being paleo for a year, and then I got shingles through the eye, and I got FND, a functional neurological disorder, where I couldn't walk or talk, and I had to go to a neurological hospital for 10 weeks. But it was just before then when this whole shingles, this is why I think it's a spiritual awakening. My dissociation, that whole part was this like, basically like waking up and being shown that you are not in the matrix anymore, and everything you learnt really doesn't apply to you anymore. And my soul just had this journey to go on. But I think I'd been kicked down so many times. And this time I'm like, you know what? I'm at rock bottom again, and no animals are eating me. I know the animals are probably out there panicking. Things are going to eat their babies. Like, how did the world get so messed up? I'm not eating things with a face. And although most of that 2 years I was in and out of hospitals, I'd always get them to bring me vegan stuff. Or Mum would tell them I was vegan when I couldn't talk. And that's how I ended up in a situation where I was vegan and I was so sick I just couldn't cook the food, and worked out I felt much better. So Melbourne is good for work, but 36 years there was enough. Oh my God, do you really? I love Byron Bay. Byron Bay is amazing. What a great place to be, and off-grid, how nice. How do you complete your protein intake? Well, women on average need about the average woman needs like 42 grams of protein a day. I don't know where there's 100 and 150 grams is. And that is an average woman, and I'm quite small. But let's give that I do Pilates and running most days. So let's say we want 40 to 50 grams of protein a day. I've put nutritional yeast in this. 1 tablespoon has like 6 grams of protein. There's at least 2 or 3 in all of that. So I've already got 6 grams of protein in. Then I put walnuts in. I think I put a cup in, and I'm about to have more, about half of that, or maybe a third of that. So then you've got probably going up to like 12 grams of protein. Excuse me, what else did I put in there? I can't think. There's mushrooms. Let's give it another 4 grams. Pumpkin seeds. That was only a light sprinkle, but still We're getting up to 20 with the veggies. Also with the greens, I had hemp milk this morning. I also had a cacao, which had more milk in it. I think each one of those is like 4 to 6 grams of protein. So it just adds up. And my body tends to start craving things if I haven't had it, where there was periods where I've had like massive amounts of lentils, sprouted lentils, Brussels sprouts. These all have protein, amino acids, which is better for the body because the body then puts them together in the proteins it wants. Yeah. So, we've got the sauce here, which has got more veggies in it, which has got more protein in it. Every food has protein in it. And it's really interesting because a lot of the health people are saying that it's not even protein now. Apparently, it's fiber. So, I mean, I'm getting plenty of fiber, that's for sure. But it's just a fad. Like, a lot of the protein girlies are saying, like, it doesn't really apply that protein makes you lose weight because if you overeat on it, you just get bloated and constipated. It's just the same. It's the amount you eat. Truly, I haven't found any loophole to weight loss except just eat what you need. There's no copious amounts of eating. You've just got to eat what you need. Get in, get out. I prefer to eat less. You really enjoy it. Like, I'm really enjoying this. Yes, I retired at 35. Invested young. Came from an abusive family. I'm so sorry. Bought 25 acres near Byron. Grow all my own food. Mortgage free. You're a legend. Do you know what? I don't blame you. I'm 42 now. Good on you. You live longer eating meat and fat. Well, I think everybody knows that's not true. But sure. Eating a standard American diet, I've lost my period, but going vegan brought it back. Veggies are life. Good for you. I'm so happy for you. That's so nice to hear. Yes, but I target to take in 2 grams per 1 kilo of body, and I'm 85. Trying to bully? Can you think I can do it being a vegan? You can 100% do it being a vegan. In fact, cooked lentil, all of those have more than meat per kilogram of protein. What's his name? Andrew Tate said he went through a stage where he was poor, and him and his brother would eat rice and beans or rice and lentils or something every night. It had more protein, he worked out, than the meat that he could afford, but even meat per kilo. Because it's the truth. So you get beans, lentils, but also tofu, tempeh, and it's easier on the body. But I eat raw. I think I feel better raw. I feel I look younger eating raw. You just get all the hydration and energy. Satan, yeah. There you go. There's another one. These patties are really good. Like, I feel like I just invented like a meat patty. That looks like a hamburger. These are really good. Oh, these had flaxseed in it as well. I added sesame seeds as well. There's lots going on in here. Lots of amino acids. Protein. I feel like this is a good point. Kill the Hive Mind said, did you know that too much protein can cause a lot of inflammation and illnesses? That's a lot of protein. I'm a vegan and only have 50 grams of protein a day, and I'm 80 kilograms. So I watch girls over on TikTok who don't drink, don't smoke, on their health journey, having like 100 to 150 grams of protein a day, and they're tiny, like me, like size small. I'm a size extra small to small. So they're small, right? Probably even smaller than me. And now they've got renal failure and kidney failure and fatty liver disease, and they don't even drink. And they're like, what's going on? And they're getting on now, spreading awareness that, because when you do like a high fruit diet to heal, you're getting rid of the acid, the amino acids, which the body can use to build, but they're still acids, right? And by limiting that, the body can go into like a healing mode. And when you start putting the denser things in, you can feel it. I sit in a lot of gratitude for what my body does now. that I'm able to have greens and seeds and nuts and my hormone replacement. And the other thing I take is magnesium at night. My system's full. Like, I feel like my system is like, this is a good place, guy. We can use this, but you give us more, and it's like you're gonna conk. So I have like a gratitude for going all the way up into fruits and doing a lot of healing and juicing. And now I'm here, like, this is, you guys see, most days I don't know how much of you guys watch or what I eat, but usually most days I'm on a high omega-3 low histamine diet. So I am just doing veggies, flaxseed, chia seed, and chia flax oil with salt and pepper. That's basically all I eat during the week. And then on the weekends, we do this. On Friday, I put together with lots of different things and all different condiments. And I might do another dish on the weekend because it's weekend. They're like treats. But during the week, I am like matcha, green. Well, it's in the description what I eat in the Master Cell Activation folder. It's matcha, green juice, some berries, but it's very simple. And that's how I maintain my health. Like, I think it's really important people understand how their body feels. I eat lentils, beans, but I have to take 2 meals or chicken for fullness and needs. Well, that's not true, because I mean, I saved my life without chicken, and that's a psychological thing. You eat a lot of avocados and you transition into anything. Yeah, you know, I don't eat this anymore because I'm a raw vegan, but I remember I loved tempeh. I've been thinking about becoming vegetarian first. Yes. Can I suggest to anyone, don't be like, oh, she looks great, I'm going to go raw. It's not that simple. I mean, I had a lifetime of illness motivating me behind it. And in truth, I went from paleo to vegan. So paleo for a year, vegan 2 years, and then I went raw. And to me, it's still a huge transition. I feel like be the hare or the rabbit. Be the tortoise, don't be the rabbit. Everything I've done since doing this, if I do little steps, you know, to get to becoming like running, I walked every day for a year and a half, and then I could run. You know, I started getting in the ocean, and by winter, within a year, I could swim through winter. Like, just little steps. If you're eating a standard American diet, for sure going vegetarian and doing as little processed food as you can is a brilliant start. 100%. What color eyes do you have? Absolutely beautiful. Thank you. So, funny enough, they might seem blue-gray right now because I'm indoors. Okay, the bluest my eyes have ever been is every time I'm disconnected from social media. So there's been 2 times in my life where when I was in that psychiatric unit, there was a TV, but I couldn't concentrate. So I would only like sit outside or talk to people. I was off social media, and in the photos from that time, my eyes are electric blue. And I spend a lot of time these days out in nature. If I'm not here, I'm in nature, okay? So then another time where I got the FND and all of that, and I healed myself, I couldn't concentrate on television again. That went on for months. My eyes are electric blue. Now, in one of those situations, I was eating, like I was finding a paleo diet, but I was smoking. In the first one, my eyes are electric blue. I swear, if it gets rainy and I spend a lot of time indoors, they go gray. And when I was really sick, they go gray-blue. When I was really sick, they were just gray-green. I was indoors all the time. So I think the eyes literally reflect what they've seen. Like, if you're, like, I really feel like, maybe just my eyes, not everyone's. I don't know, my eyes seem to, they're blue. If you saw me like in summer down the beach, you would go, they're true blue eyes. But there's something about spending time on social media, or not social media, just around artificial lights. They seem to go blue-gray. I think that's it. Artificial lights make them blue-gray. But if you see me after a few days in the beach in summer, they're like electric blue. Or my name's Sky for a reason, because in truth, it's a rainy day. Every time it rains and overcast, they kind of match the energy of the weather. Here, I like that. Veggies help our mitochondria multiply. The more mitochondria you have, the more energy you have. This is what I shared a reel by a doctor who believes that grounding is the key to health. because it's free electrons. You know, you put your feet or soles or hands on the ground, you get free electrons. What the mitochondria of the body needs, ATP, electrons, hydrogen, electrons. A lot of the chemicals that we have are hydrocarbons, carbon and hydrogen, right? Because there's electrons. You know, when you start getting, like there's little E electrons. That's what we want, the energy, running us like a battery. But also she says the sun. But when I healed myself, spent about 16 hours a day outside, even into the night. Because after you come off a lot of medication, you're shaking all the time, and I noticed the shaking stopped every time I was outside grounding. So I just stayed out there. Couldn't concentrate on television, so that was fine for me. Well, we saw me on protein shakes, didn't we? This was 3 protein shakes a day. It's because it's chemical. You have to understand that you might need what's in a supplement. You might need what's in a powder. But can your body withstand the leukocytosis, inflammation, basically the heating up of the system, where energy could be going to your shoulder to heal arthritis, but it's not going there. The energy must go to the gut. If that food does not get through the gut, you die. So that's why so many people are sick. It's 100%, like, of course, good sleep, exercise, fresh air, and nature are amazing for my health, but I could not access them without first getting to a point where my body could assimilate some food. So that there, literally, I would be in, what's his name? What are they called? ICU, in hospital, and they would pile my bench up with those Sustagen and Ensure drinks. Every meal I consumed had to have 2 Ensures, maybe 1, and then it would be morning tea, and you'd have to drink another one. It made me so freaking sick. So it's like saying someone will thrive if you give them the right vitamins. Bull crap. Give someone multivitamins and watch them not thrive. Give them like high vibrational food, which is in balance and the body can assimilate. It's got all the nutrients, the enzymes. Once you cook it or process it into a powder, it's denatured. It's not recognized by the body. So the body goes into leukocytosis, which it does anyway with all food, but it goes into a much higher level. It wants to just recognize the food. So yeah, that's why I have to say on that. I'm with you. Kill the hive mind. Listen to no one but yourself. If you can get to a point on this planet where you trust in yourself so much that it's not that you don't care what others say, you only take in what resonates with you, you will thrive. That is the secret to life. Once I realized that I could see the raw foods were literally talking to me. They were so bright. And then I sat there and I'm like, okay, I healed everything in 6 weeks. Oh, sorry, when I say healed everything, my blood test took a couple of years to heal, but my symptoms were gone in 6 weeks. And then I sat there and I went, well, if nobody told me about raw food and I got this wrong, what other crap have people been telling me? I've had doctors, professors, I went to university, I went to private school. Like, what? And so if you can live on this planet where everything just filters through you, and when you match a frequency that's meant for you, you take it in, it doesn't matter who says it, where it comes from, you know that it's truth. That's when you will live an easy life. But it can take a lot, like, to get there, because we're all so controlled. Oh wow, are your eyes like that too? I think a lot of people's eyes are blue like that, but people just don't notice. Yeah, you can definitely see the health of it. Look at this. Look at when I started a raw food diet. Look at my eyes. My liver was failing. Here. Look at my eyes. Look under my eyes. Look at my skin. Look at my hair had fallen out. So that's the other thing, is that don't judge a book by its cover. Yes, judge a book by its cover. See who has a health that you resonate with. Like, don't take advice off somebody that you don't want to get their health. Like, they might have knowledge of some type, but don't go getting health advice of someone you don't want to become. Like, you don't want to become that. I don't want to become that. I want to become this. So I want to find people whose eyes are bright and their hair's growing and their skin looks bright and their teeth look okay. And I'm like, okay, what's that person doing? It's not about being shallow. It's literally about survival. Like, what are they doing? Why do they look like that? Something I've noticed is that people tend to go to extremes. They find out that something is good for you, then they jump in, but they go to extremes. Maybe not everyone needs to go fully raw. So about this extreme, it's because everyone's coming from a couple of situations where there's that panic, but also everything we're told from a young age is, I went on the such and such diet and I lost 50 pounds. You know, I had cancer and I juiced for 30 days and never had cancer again. And we're brainwashed with this our whole life. And so we're out there seeking this magic pill or this magic way. And so when you see an abundance of, like, I don't know, people doing well on a certain diet or with, I don't know, with a physiotherapy treatment or I don't know, an acupuncture treatment or someone fasted for this, people like, that's going to cure me. But they forget that I believe that the reason souls are here is for the journey. And it took me a long time to learn. It's not hopping, missing a step and jumping to the end, which might be becoming breatharian, which people think is this amazing thing, right? Or liquidarian, or you don't need anything but just air and, I don't know, doing a lot of water fasting. Is that to do a skill, you need the lessons, and the lessons come from life, like from, you know, going and learning how to be a vegetarian and struggling through it and having days where you want to go back and you think, how could I go forward, but I'm going to sit here. And then all of a sudden you're a vegetarian and you're really good at it. And when you clean your system by eating things you didn't eat before, eating better foods for you with more nutrition, and you're not having as much meat or as much processed food, you start to notice that, like, maybe the lighter foods make you feel better. So you're like, I don't want the cheese anymore. But it's still a struggle to let go of the cheese and become vegan. Like, we forget, like, I don't forget because of the way my life is now, and especially because there's no drugs or alcohol in it to numb anything. But the work I've done to get here is something I can support somebody with, but I can't do it for them. And that's why I think is, like, we think that there's this quick answer, and the only time those answers are true, the quick one, is where someone is stage 4 and they can't go back. Their only choice is to sit there and juice for 6 months or a year or something, and they will flush it out. But then that person you'll see will more than likely need to learn how to now be a vegan or a plant-based person. It's like the actual true purpose of life is to, you know, it's to make deeper than the soul, and that comes from the journey. It can't come from, whoa, juice for a week and I'm fixed. Next, let's go party, let's go real. No, juice for a week. Next. And it's like when somebody actually settles into it, you have to continually learn these lessons. So, but yeah, it's like, don't, even when you're a vegetarian, worry about the next stage. Like, ace being a vegetarian. If you can ace being a vegetarian, you're more likely going to ace when you become a vegan. But I'm very much like, I always say to people, own exactly where you're at. Like, don't think I'm going to be, the amount of people I work with that think they're going to just be fruitarian and it's going to fix everything. I'm like, just accept where you are, because it's going to be hard to just sit at the level you're at without, you know, processed food. You've let go of 2 medications. This is huge. Just own that. And the more you work on that, you learn skills. Like, all the skills that keep me raw, I've learned on my journey. So my eyes are blue as blueberries. That's pretty deep blue. Yes. Maybe not everyone needs to live on watermelon and mangoes, and maybe high raw will be more beneficial for you. And also, the other thing is, you might go, don't count anything out. Like, you might go through, sometimes in summer I'll go a few days, almost a week on mangoes, and then I just won't have fruit again for like a month. Don't count something out. Let your body just direct you. Body blue. I don't know where that comes from. Though I did tell my mum and she said, yeah, you do look like that lady. I'm like, oh, okay. I look so different. Yeah. I seem to look more and more different from that. I posted the photo of this and me now this year on Facebook, got so many reactions, and I think it's because every year I get further and further away from looking like that. I would suggest not starting with that line if you find someone attractive. But what would I know? Yeah, I know. I don't think many of the lines that are mentioned on here. It's funny because I get all sorts of different comments. I can get a comment that says, "You're so beautiful," and underneath, "You look 100 years old, granny." Like, you just don't know what you're going to get on here. So you've got to be secure in yourself to jump on YouTube. I believe souls are here to evolve and graduate, so we don't have to come back to this shit show. I'm absolutely not of this world. I know that much. I completely agree with you. I believe it's, yeah, like you want to take the soul lesson. That's what I say. Just this is all a lesson for the soul, and my soul could not deepen, or it knew. My theory is that I know that my soul knew, and I knew, and my high conscious and God, and I am God, and the universe knows exactly what I was always destined to do, including myself. But when you come to this dense reality, you can't be conscious of everything all at once. So you're on more a linear timeline, and you have to take this experience so that when you go back to what people describe as like the ocean, like we're all little drops that will go back to the ocean that's all complete, which is our home. But we come to this reality to experience and deepen ourselves. So when we come back to the ocean, we're a changed and deepened soul. Well, that's what I believe. Do you eat meat to survive? Don't you have to eat meat to survive? No, you definitely do not. We've seen photos of me eating meat and did not serve me well. You need to eat, well, I think even if you eat meat, you need to eat an abundance of plants. It's just so easy to assimilate. And healthy. I mean, look at me. I mean, I was vegan there. Cooked food does not serve me. This was really good. Why would you need meat? Look at all this. This is amazing, right? It makes you feel so good. Hello. Oh. How would you explain staying in the now? Do you mean like what does it feel like? Or do you mean how do I do it? Because the way that I describe it, I don't know. It's like what it feels like is, you know, when you're a kid and you've spent a day running around the beach and the salt, and you probably haven't eaten that much, and if you have, it's probably a roll, maybe a sausage and some salad. Well, that's what we had. But you didn't really eat. You're living and laughing, and you're very grounded. And even like you just don't have any stresses or worries, or you're present and happy. And that's probably the closest to explain it. But even then, like when I think of the kid, everything irritated me. When you're hydrated and in that, it's hard to explain, better than any drug. That's the thing. This is probably the best lifestyle for a drug addict because you feel so incredible. It's almost, I remember saying that I believe the reason so many people who have addiction problems get onto this lifestyle is because they were that type of soul that's an empath, or they were supposed to always find this in their path, this like full happy feeling. But at the start, you start to do it through things that don't serve us. But when you feel this energy from the food, if you are someone who was like seeking dopamine and drugs, you'll feel it consistently. Like eating this way is like the most incredible thing I can ever describe to somebody. Like, amazing. Where are these people living who believe we need to eat meat to survive? I think of myself as a star. I like that. I like that. It's kind of like that, right? It's like we can actually see the light stretch through time because it's like the past that hits us. But our aging, which people are like, you know, you're old, blah, 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 but our aging is just us stretching through time. That's all it is. We just can't see the stuff behind us attached to source. It's like we're just, so it's like we have to. And it's an honor to, like, if you've been through it, it's an honor to age. Like, frick, I didn't even think I was gonna make 40. I mean, this is like a month before I was 40, and I'm 44. This is actually, oh no, this was July. I am going to be 44 in 4 days. How's that? 44 in 4 days. I think 4 days, 5 days, 4 or 5 days. Do I want a little bit more? I think I want a tiny bit more. Oh. Why am I still here? Why are you still here, Kyle? That doesn't make sense. This is my channel. I'm always going to be here. No, that photo here, the photo behind me was July 2021. This is me, August 2025. Yeah, but stop making videos. Hang on, I'll do this. I'll help you out. There we go. I've been completely on my own for 7 years, not a soul in my life apart from my dog who I lost. Oh, I'm so sorry, you lost your dog. I've always been awake, but I'll tell you what, if you want to evolve, go it alone, 100%. The most at peace, healthy, and understanding myself was when I had lost everything, including my family. I'd been homeless. And that was only for a few months. Frick, that and raw foods was like, there's no words for it. Because as soon as you interact with other people, you don't realize, and you feel it when you've been away from people and you all I've done is been in nature and raw foods, and you get around someone, you literally can feel the energy start to press into you. But before you know it, once you get back into, and I try to, like, I think for about 8 months, like really work my magic, because like I'm going, but I'm going to go home and like ground. But eventually over time you become it. We become all pieces of whatever we're around. That's why I always say I want to start a sanctuaries all over the world, where if people truly want to heal, they do what I did, and that is cut off everything they know, their job, their family, their kids, their parents, let go of phones, immerse yourself in nature and you for 3 to 6 months, and watch the rest of your life be completely different. How did you lose your family? I just shown I can't stand being around any form of suffering. I tried helping everyone around me, but I got too much. And suffering isn't mine to bear. Okay, so when my parents have been my carers. All carers came in, but mostly my parents cared for me. Well, from when I was a kid, always when I was sick. Through the FND, through at the end where there was psychiatric issues. There was just so many issues, but then I started drinking. And so I'd take their alcohol or have alcohol delivered to their place. I could barely get out. And so I'm drinking and harming myself, and they can't stop me. And the doctors are like, well, she's only having a bottle of wine a day. You can't really do anything, to my parents. Anyway, then I ended up in hospital with my liver failing for 3 weeks. And then my parents said, you cannot come home. You have to do this on your own. So my brother, they said, your brother-in-law will organize like a hotel or a place for you to go, because I couldn't talk on the phone. So my brother-in-law kind of would organize things for me. But you have to remember, when someone's dissociated, if I did get myself outside, barely could get back in. I remember I was in hospital. I slept outside hospitals. And then I was in a hospital waiting room for my brother-in-law to call. I couldn't make calls because I couldn't remember things and do things. Or then I'd have seizures and be back in the room, back in a hospital bed. But as soon as you're up, they're like, okay, out. So I just lived in a hospital for a few days. And then he would help me get a place. And then I remember having diarrhea all over the bed in the place, and they kicked me out. I thought I was going to die at that point because I'm like, how do I get to another hotel and give them? I had money, but I couldn't access it because I had this F&D where you just can't read or push things. Or anyway, I managed to get across to the hotel, and then if I had a drink or something, I would get up and get outside, and then I wouldn't remember how to get back in. And so that's how I ended up alone. And then what happened from there? I don't know who helped me get a place. Some family member helped me get my place. And in fact, when I got my own place, something shifted because you feel a bit safe. When you have no home, even if you have a bit of money for hotels and floating in and out of hospitals, you do not feel safe. So that's when I tried to care for myself when I could. So it was like, I've done a video on this called Make Believe, where I didn't really have anything, so I would make believe that, like, I'd set my computer up with a little flame on it and pretend I had a fire next to my heater. I would be able to get up and get some things away, but I was always in pain and I didn't feel well until I just ate the food raw. And the difference was I could literally stand. I'm like, oh, I'm okay. Like, I'm not perfect, like, but I'm okay. And I'm like, well, and the more I ate of it was this okay feeling. And so I'm like, literally, I got outside. I'm like, Sky, what are you willing to do? I know I've gone off here, but I'm still not connected to my family. And I'm like, anything. So I'm like, right, the money you have will go on whatever food you want, because I know that's the only way you're going to quit alcohol and vaping. You're not going to just be able to eat one food. You're going to have like a few different foods. And I just did that. And any time I had something that wasn't raw, or even what you'd call semi-raw, like date balls, and I think it had a lot to do with I had failing liver, low iron and blood sugar issues, I would just have to be in bed. Mind you, it was only when I had a full cooked meal that I would go back for days, but I still wasn't. So mostly I ate the food in its pure form, like a cucumber I was just too scared, or a carrot, a few nuts, but not too many, because if you had too many, I knew that had been dry. You could see some stuff was bright and alive, and that seemed to be fine. Anything else didn't. And then as I healed, I fell in love with myself. All I did is talk about love to myself. I'm like, I love you. I can feel that. I remember feeling the water in the shower. I'm like, holy crap, is this what water feels like? It's not painful. And as I fell in love with myself, I realized, like, nature's always been there, Sky. You just hadn't been ready to see it. It was always you. And I came out of victimhood instead of, my parents just abandoned me and, one sec. So yeah, instead of seeing everything happen to me, it was all my choice. And that's that soul journey where instead of it being like, my sister didn't invite me to her wedding, and like I just had a hysterectomy. It was all things that I had always been like, and a lot of people back me up, that's horrible happened to you. But to me, it's always been a choice. I chose everything that I went through, probably even before I got on this planet. But then, so when I would meet people, I would be in a state of love. But especially when you first reconnect with family or even friends, it was small doses, because you sit down at a table and you've worked months on this raw food stuff and you've worked out, you're like, can't you see me? This heals everything. Like, you want it to help everybody, right? And they can't see it. So you sit down at a table while you eat a small salad and they eat all the stuff which made you sick, while they talk about seeing neurologists. Did you try this psychologist? And if this happened, like all medicine. And you just sit there like, and so I would only have it in small doses. And I found it really hard for years being around anyone who wasn't high raw, like really hard, until I had more work on myself to do. So I think I went into this diet from a place of lack. In that I've got to get higher, I've got to get better, and started seeing myself like I'm better than people that don't eat all watermelon, or people that don't. And I realized I was missing nutrients. Like, I eat an abundance of raw food now. I eat fruit, I eat greens, I eat fermented foods, I'll try some cacao, I do it all. And I found when I matched the energy of the planet more, which is a little bit denser, that I could sit in compassion. where I see everyone as who I used to be. So I used to be the person who would go and sit down and have a glass of wine with some, maybe not some meat, but it never was a big meat eater, but some processed food, and talk about the pain specialist and the surgery I just had. So I kind of see them in what they are, which is all souls that are me. I am them. They're just a different time period of me. But it was very hard at the start. 4 years, but yeah. Why do you look half dead? I don't know why you keep coming back, Kyle. I can do this all day too. We just keep doing it. It's not really bothering us. It's a lot of energy though. Yes, I'm Aussie. Yeah, so that's kind of like, hey Rishi, that's like that's kind of my story. And like, I guess when people say things that are crazy, like in here, like Kyle, I'm just like, he's probably someone who needs the most love. So yeah. Yeah. So we just hope one day he gets love. I personally think Kyle is awake. That's just my opinion. We're all open to interpretation. Kyle's going to be back soon. Kyle's definitely going to be back soon. I can tell. Kyle obviously has nothing better. I think Kyle might be a bot in a, what do they call those farming places? Not a good farm. Not like one of those, like a veggie farm. What is it? Like a internet farm place. I think I mean mine. I don't know what I mean at this point. So, Kyle, are you on a farm? Is that what a troll? Yeah, probably. No, we love you, Kyle. I don't know if you're even a person. Maybe you're like part of, I don't know. You're a troll, apparently. So there's always going to be them. It's just what it is. Kyle, I think, has a lot of accounts. So I can feel my skin getting itchy. I had a lot of histamines tonight. I went histamine central. I don't have any histamines all week. And then I'm like, I go all in. Maybe Kyle is a histamine that's irritating me. He's like an online histamine. Is food supposed to be cooked or not? That's a good question. I don't believe food is meant to be cooked. Okay, I believe that food being cooked is something that would have occurred in evolution. You know, when food, it's like this double-edged question. There's like, I feel that the people on this planet match the energy of the planet, right? Is the planet's in like this evolutionary, it has its electromagnetic field, it's alive, it has a consciousness. And that at the moment is more dense than it has been in past times, right? You think of like times of, you hear of stories of like Atlantis and these mega structures which seem to have been in the past where people had tools and knowledge that we don't have anymore. And that to me is like this density, vibrational energy thing, right? And I believe these foods, the raw foods, are higher vibrational, right? So they take you to this higher vibrational frequency, which allows a lot of people to do some healing. But I do believe the reason people struggle with it is because if you don't sit on some sort of vibrational energy that the planet is on, you can leave in death, right? Obviously, it's going to be like you see people who suffer as raw foodists, okay? You see people who suffer as eating a lot of too much dense food. I believe where the planet sits, predominantly people should be eating, of course, raw foods. But if they don't eat all raw foods, I get it. I completely get it. For me, it's raw foods. It's like a give and a take, because there is a pleasure. You want to get a pleasure from food. This is just my theory. It's a vibrational match where the planet is not all raw. All raw is amazing, but even you can feel unhinged. And how do you ground yourself? Well, I eat denser raw foods. And you just find that people who do long-term and even how the higher raw foods have evolved isn't natural. As in, like, they've been hybridized by humans. They've bred the seeds out of it. If you take a bite of a banana 100 years ago, it was full of seeds. You'd be biting bits of amino acids, spitting it out, of course, but you'd still be consuming it. And I just believe it's vibrationally, most people will sit better with, of course, lots of raw food. I look at people who still eat healthy diets. Girls who look great and eat healthy diets, they eat a lot of raw food. These girls, they still have some meat and some, they eat not very processed food. The girls that I think that look healthy, who are young, are still eating a lot of raw food. Most people that I look at who I classify as looking good are eating a lot of raw food, but it doesn't mean that's all they're eating. So, hello, I think we lost him. Do you support being a vegan? Yes, I do. Do you mean, do I think it's the right thing to do? I do. What do you do? What are you on here for? I mean that in a nice way. Haven't seen your channel before. I'm a raw vegan. I was sick for 32 years. I've had over 60 surgeries, had 7 major organs removed, including my stomach. I started eating a raw food diet 4 years ago and have had no health issues. And I was health issue queen. So I get on here and I share different parts of my story. I just shared a recipe which is now gone because I just ate it. So kill the hive mind. I have a juice and fruit until my main meal at night. I've recently removed grains and I'm much better for it. I've gone to eggs instead. I let my land tell me what to eat. I just think the more you listen to what you need to do on your journey, the better you do, you know. And if that's what feels good for you, then, and you've learned that can't be taught. Not many people get to learn those things. Lots of vegans love all fake meats, etc. I eat nothing processed. Rice flour, etc. Eggs are absolutely needed for me. If I cut those out, so I'm vegan plus eggs these days. And if that works for you, I think that's great. I just think that, yeah, there's a lot of angry vegans. We don't want that. We want to sit in love. Like, I just want this planet to be raised with love. And I think people need to love themselves and listen to their bodies and spend time in nature. The more time you spend in nature. Sushi's beautiful. I eat raw sushi. Yes, no stomach. They took it out. But I just ate. And I do well now eating a raw food diet. I just had the photo up, actually. So I was pretty sick. And then this is when I started a raw food diet 4 years ago. Most of my hair had fallen out. My liver was failing, terrible blood test. And then within 10 months, here's a photo of me somewhere. Oh, I lost it. Hang on. I mean, there's a photo actually of 4 weeks. Where's that photo? Not even 6 weeks. This is me at 4 weeks. Show you 4 weeks of raw foods. There. That's 4 weeks of raw foods. Kind of wearing the same outfit. So yeah, I did very well. So that was at the start. And then 4 weeks. And then I'll show you 10 months of raw foods. Actually, I must say tonight, I'm not having a massive histamine issue. I wonder if having that chiropractic adjustment helped as well. Everything, my head feels so clear. He literally reconnected my head to my, neck. I swear to God, that crack went through my teeth and my face because I have a lot of trouble with that trigeminal nerve. That's the only thing that continues to flare up. Let me show you 10 months. And I reckon he cracked something back to normal today. That's 10 months later. That's no, this is, didn't use any hair dye. That was all just the sun. It's all grown back. Don't mind me choking on chili over here. Yeah. Bariatric surgery? No, I had a perforated ulcer in my duodenum, which rotted my intestines and my stomach. So, but it is, I guess, bariatric surgery, the top part is. But it was a gastrectomy, and it was a partial gastrectomy, but the bit they left was a tiny bit, and over time stretched into my, like just an extension of my esophagus, like a banana shape, they said. I don't think veganism is the issue here. It's about taking the correct steps to connect to the frequency of a straight path. I'm not sure what that means. I don't think veganism is the issue. It's about self-love. Everything is about self-love. If you can do it from a place of love, you're on the right path. Holly, that's amazing. What kind of sick, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, so I had a congenital disease. I had chronic viruses. I had mast cell activation syndrome. But a lot of it was chronic pain around the pelvis from a congenital disease with a second piece of uterus, which was just surgery after surgery. They removed glands, they removed ligaments, they went in for exploratory surgeries. And there were surgeries where they just put in IUDs, and then I'd cramp up and they'd rush me back in and take the IUDs out. And then some surgeries, I even went in for a couple surgeries where they knocked me out. And when I came to, they're like, oh, the machine was broken. Can you come back tomorrow? So, yeah. Have you really ever been far, even as decided to use even go want to look more like? What? Have you really ever been far, even as I don't know what that means. No, I'm not going to be showing my pedicure where we're talking about health and raw food. Put my foot on the table. My nails look nice enough. That's a strange thing to ask, by the way. So, I haven't opened it yet. I got my vlogging camera. I bought it this week. It got delivered. Let's do an unboxing, hey? Straight path is in the human natural order. Yeah, I just think it's to do with a frequency and self-love. But that's just what I feel like I've discovered, is that the more I sit in love, the more everything just comes together. All right, let's open this. So please know, I've been doing YouTube for 2 years now, and I just use my phone, and I love that. But then I keep needing to film like what I eat in a day and what I do in a day and what my day looks like, and I can't because I'm always on my phone for work. So I went ahead and got a camera. I don't know, I don't think I need this, but just in case. You look amazing. Go you. I'm off. Look forward to seeing you on here again. Subscribe. Thanks for subscribing. Self-love is what life is about, which is why you'll be called selfish for doing it. Yes, everybody out there, be selfish. Sit in a space of love. Learn how to love you. Put that oxygen mask on you. Don't put it on anyone else before you learn how to put it on yourself. And just say everyone does call you selfish. Work on yourself. Be selfish, and when you go out, people have another 40 years with you. Give yourself like 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever. And love yourself so much that no one can disrupt that. Okay, it's a Sony. I don't know. I kind of trusted the camera guy. The Sony ZV-E10 is what it is. Oh, they always give like a lot of stuff, right? I don't know what this is. Oh, that's something fuzzy. I think I have to buy a flash. I don't know whether we got this far. Oh, it's so little. How cute. I'll figure all this out tomorrow. I'll put that back. I feel this is expensive. Well, it is expensive. I paid for it. I don't know how much it costs. That's also what put me off, is that I'd be carrying around something else expensive. But I will sort all of that out tomorrow, because I will film what I do all day. From when I wake up to when I go to sleep, and what I eat in a day, is now that I don't have to do it on this. So tomorrow we'll be learning about that. I'll be learning about that. Sony, what fine taste you have. It is a serious bit of equipment. I spoke to a friend of mine who's a photographer. His partner does like content, and she had this. And then I went to JB Hi-Fi, and I walked in and I spoke to the guy. They're usually really helpful there. And I'm like, I was recommended this camera, actually a better one than this. I didn't get the top one. And he goes, oh, my girlfriend uses that for blogging. And I'm like, oh, well, 2 people's partners use this. I said, well, it must be a good one. He said, it is. But I said, look, there was one more expensive. I said, would you get it? He said, no, I wouldn't get the more expensive one. He goes, it's just not worth it. Has more battery life, and I think a few more frame rates. But it was like $1,000 more. My anxiety gets up if I start having to carry around something really expensive. I'd rather just like, yeah, this is enough. It was expensive enough. But I do a lot of content now, and it's my hobby. It's my love. And I make money off it now, so why not? But I did wait ages, and I waited as long as I could until it was I had to. You got a really bad camera. You should get a refund. I don't think it's bad. I don't know what that means. Is that real? What is the chat? What does that mean? What is a chat service? YouTube mean? Or is that, can everyone else see that? Or is that just me? I don't know what that means. Community guidelines breach. They're taking down your channel. I don't know what for. I'm not sure what that means. You have the right to appeal. End this immediately and check your mail. Oh, is it? Let me put that. Maybe I can do that. Oh yeah, I can put them in timeout. So that's, yeah. Thank you guys. I didn't know. I was like, that's a weird way for YouTube to contact you. You can't even push one. So, thank you guys. Okay, I think I'm going to clean up and go to bed. That was my night, but I'm sure I'll be back tomorrow. Usually I do a haul when I come back from the farmer's market in the morning. Oh, I forgot to order sweet potato because I'm making my 4-ingredient donuts with my niece. So, which have got dates, cacao or carob, sweet potato, and chia seeds. And then the icing, and they're so good. They're so good. And then the icing is cashews, cacao or carob, and dates. And it's so good. So, good night, guys. It was good to chat with you. I'm not from America. I'm Australia. The important thing is to never stop questioning. That is a good name. All right, bye, guys. Lots of love.